Greetings, geeks. Welcome to episode 788 of Geeks in Space. I'm Rob Commander Taco Malda, and joining me once again today in pretend low Earth orbit, we have Rob Roseboom.
Hello.
And Chris DeBona.
Hi.
Gentlemen, now is the part where I pretend like we haven't been chit-chatting for the last 20 minutes about things and ask you, how's your day?
It's okay. Just getting started.
Yeah,
Just getting
it's all right.
started.
Just booting up.
I was watching a YouTube video and I found out that it's getting started was originally let's get.
Yes, it is. And I have that version.
You didn't know that?
And it's better.
I didn't
way
know
better.
that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I never knew.
Yeah. It's so much better. It's so awful. In fact, I remember when I heard the started version, I was like, really? Huh.
Well, my wife was
Yeah.
talking about something about baking where you had to retard the dough.
Yes.
Mhm.
I was like, oh, that's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
But I'm like, fine.
Yeah. Language, man.
It's a virus.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, let's see. The first story that we got on the list, we have just a brief little thing about an AI girlfriend, and she's making $72,000 in a week.
That's a lot of money.
And it's not anything particularly surprising. It looks like they just trained up a model with some influencer. And she chats with people, and you subscribe to this. And now, I guess this is somewhat less impressive because she already had 1.8 million followers. And I feel like if you already have 1.8 million followers, making $70,000 off of them is a lot easier than in other situations.
Yeah, this is far less impressive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. It's just so weird. You know, like, good on her. She figured out how to turn her butt into a lot of money, but it's like, okay.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of lonely guys out there.
Boy, there really are.
They might want to chat with the AI that emulates a pretty girl that doesn't know who they are.
Virtual boyfriends. I think those are real boys. So it would be boy virtual friends, or I think the modifier is in the wrong spot. Because it's 1,000 real people, or people testing out stolen credit cards, right?
That's true.
In just 1 week, over 1,000 humans have signed up to interact with the AI as a virtual boyfriend. Is probably how I'd phrase that.
Yeah, it's linguistically awkward.
Yeah, I mean, whoever Spaceman Mark really should work on his layout.
Well, there's actually a lot of things about like how, especially with AI, like we use gendered pronouns. We talk to it like it is a person. We talk to it. We talk about it as if it is not. It is software. It is not, at least unless you're that dude from Google. It's not sentient.
What?
This isn't a real person?
No. She's a real person, but the AI is not real.
The AI is real.
Her. It's trained on
AI
her
is not a real
Instagram
person.
But the AI is not a real person.
Oh.
Yes.
So
Right,
this
good. So
there's the
we got
question
that
of what is
cleared
the
up.
artifice that is her actual life that they trained it on, right? So do they really train on Karen, or do they train on Karen, the Instagram influencer?
Is it the
Is
real
she
her?
putting on a personality herself?
Of course she
Aren't
is.
we all showing a personality that we want the world to consume?
Sure, we all go forward in this life with our representative that we introduce to people. Right?
Please like and subscribe.
This is who I want you to think I am.
Well, what's funny is
subscribe.
There's character AI, and they've created virtual celebrities without their permission, and like you can interact with Super Mario.
I'm the best.
Here, let me zoom in. Hello,
It's a me,
Mario.
Mario.
Ready for adventure. How do you repair a natural gas line that is leaking? That's what you'd ask a plumber.
That's what you ask a plumber,
right?
I would never ask a plumber how to fix a broken gas line ever.
I would.
That's not what they do.
That's absolutely what they do.
Plumbers don't fix gas lines.
They absolutely
fix water.
do. They absolutely fix
No,
gas
they
lines.
handle gas lines.
You
inside the house.
100% call the same person.
Okay. Not here.
All right.
Not here. Consumers comes and fixes it.
The last time
gas line people do.
The last time I had my plumber here, he rerouted a gas line and a water line.
Does he do heating and cooling as well?
No, he does not do HVAC. I have a different company for that. Plumbers totally do gas.
What's funny is, so
I've
this
never had a
company
plumber.
Character AI, everyone's talking about them, and there's a lot of excitement. But Karen's actually nailing the monetization. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's true. $71,000 a week is pretty dang nice.
Yeah, right. And like,
I'd work one week a year.
If they had put the care into their Super Mario bot that Karen put into her Instagram or influencer AI girlfriend bot, maybe they'd be doing a little better. This cracks me out because Noam Shazir and George Herrick are the guys behind Character.ai.
Yeah.
They're friends. So I'm just cracking up. But I'm like, dude, Karen's taking all your press.
That's right.
Forever Voices. Forever Voices, I think, was formed literally so you could model dead people, and have them live forever, in AI.
That seems a lot more practical than the idea that you would just freeze your body.
Well, it would be, I'm sure they'd have like some side deal where, train your AI, freeze your head, and go to sleep, right?
As you do.
Plumbers won't touch black iron. Really?
Huh. Our plumber does.
Yeah, ours do. Got a great plumber, actually.
Yeah, we do too. We just text him and then he shows up a month later.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the next on the list, there's a new batch of top-level domains. And one of them on the list is .zip. Since, of course, operating systems since time immemorial have been kind of programmed to auto-open .zip files, there's a non-trivial amount of concern that you're gonna find some rando piece of software that you're gonna run on that you're gonna click on in a .zip domain. It's gonna automatically open and do something bad. I found that funny.
Well, so my question is this a content type issue as well?
I don't know. This article is purely about TLDs. And I think that when you're talking about content type, which you're probably talking about, that like if you're a mature software developer,
I'm
probably
mature. That's a nice way of saying I'm old. I know.
You probably respect the standards. But if you wrote some shitty Perl script in 2007, it might not know, and it might end up doing something dumb.
Going back to Karen.ai, remember when people were falling in love with Perl, P-U-R-L, the bot on Pound Perl?
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that's pretty funny. And they were yelling at her and talking with her, and just like,
poor Perl.
ASL hashtag Perl. Or
why is my picture on that?
And you know who wrote Perl? Kevin Lenzo.
I know. My picture is on that page, Chris.
On which page?
The one that you were just, the TLD page. My thumbnail is there from Reddit.
Probably because you...
It must have got the subreddit.
Yeah.
That's weird. Because that thumbnail is my Reddit icon. It's the turn your face into a zombie thing that I used.
Yeah, see, it says, because it has a little Reddit callback icon. That said,
weird.
Can I just say, somebody complaining about too prolific of matching is now matching to your Reddit post. Ooh. And causing a fair amount of confusion with our little podcast. Just saying. The world's oldest podcast.
That's right.
Continuously running.
The originators. The article that I read, the other article that I read about the .zip thing said, well, what about .com? Because com means executable in DOS. And their argument was basically that the com executable had fallen out of common usage because it represents represents the DOS era.
Well, that's true, but you can still run.
You still can execute.
They have a different executable format. They launch right into the machine language as opposed to redirecting to a higher place in the executable.
But
Because
they
they were
do.
designed to fit within that 64K.
Well, and also
block.
like the
I think. 64K.
yeah, a com file could only be 64K. So it basically just has a header and then it's code. The exe can be, multi-segmented. I guess that'd be the phrase.
Mhm.
DOS, man, wasn't that great times?
Yeah, it's fine.
Speaking of DOS, the story that we got, the next one is one that.
Yeah, look at this thing.
Okay, this came from
Okay.
Downix.
Wait, I'm gonna-
Oh, it's got a price again. When I looked at it earlier, there was no price and it was sold out.
Wow.
That's
This
not
is
worth
worthy of a look at.
$230.
It's really not. It says, sorry, this item is no longer available.
It's not worth $230. But back in the day,
I get wanting to own it, but it would gather dust.
yeah, for sure. I have a million devices that are more interesting than.
Well, let's see what else they're shipping. Let's see. So this is DZT's store.
It's got an OPL3 in it though.
Wow.
It's the same chip as the AdLib, right?
Yeah, they're basically selling a bunch of parts and stuff. Okay. Hot deals.
Hot deals coming through.
Oh, they sell little mini CNC machines. That's fun.
I thought that was really cute. There's a part of me that always thinks I should just have like a 386 laptop floating around, and then I'm like, that would probably be the stupidest thing I could possibly do.
No, I mean, you could do stupider things.
I have so many devices that are so much faster and can flawlessly emulate a 386. It's not like gaming hardware where like the timing matters. Like,
yeah, it's not a Mr. thing. Yeah.
The 386 era PCs, there was so much variation between all of them that the timing on them was already out of whack. Nobody cares.
Well, here's the 775 equivalent.
Shocking. Well, we have the last two that we have on the list are both just stories of people.
Wait, you want to watch me, shop this guy's AliExpress store? Come on.
I mean, look, man, I'll just sit here and sip my coffee. I got nothing else important to do today except reinstall my Home Assistant.
Home Assistant? Yes. Okay.
Home Assistant.
Home Assistant. Okay.
I'm not looking forward to it. That's my shell right now is open, and I had a package that didn't install, and oh no, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to back up and restore my old config, and Home Assistant, man.
It's a very special Home Assistant.
So we've got two. We got wall climbing a building like Spider-Man, which was
we talked about last time.
This is you mentioned the video, but we didn't actually have the video last time because he's using those suction cup thingies, and this is a great example of YouTube video bloat. Because the actual Spider-Man climbing doesn't occur until like the 80% mark of this video. And the rest of it is like him talking about like who he is and telling his life story.
Well, they had like this totally random guy saying he was the guy who created everything, which was like, it was a weird sort of thing, But he did use it.
And, he had a
and he
wire.
Fell a lot.
He had a wire, though. He cheated. Spider-Man doesn't use a wire. He uses webs that he shoots out of the web slingers.
Also, if you're like in one of these places, suddenly they all had to know that he was going to be there, right? So
I don't know. Do you ask permission? Do you talk to the homeowners association?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna.
I don't think this is a thing. I don't think this is a thing you ask permission for just because it's illegal.
Right.
So
I don't.
Someone
it's
gives
not
you
illegal.
permission.
People clean windows all the time.
Yes, they have proper safety harnesses. They're insured. They're there by the behest of the people who own the property. You're not just climbing a wall to make a video. They arrest those people.
I'm sure he has all those things.
I'm not. But he looks very intense. And he does have a wire, so he's fine.
Yeah, he's fine. So someone had to go to the roof, but someone's belaying him. He's fine.
Yep.
This is ridiculous.
Not as ridiculous.
More than it is.
Not as ridiculous as the lawnmower boots.
Yeah, they were kind of great.
Yeah, it's spring cleaning in my backyard. So my wife has been out there weeding like constantly the last couple of weeks, because this is the one time a year where you can weed without being eaten alive by bugs.
Yeah.
I sent her this video because this seems like something that she might try.
You know, I actually think your wife, if she started getting all handy on YouTube, she would probably be hugely popular in like 5 seconds.
In 2012, for sure.
I don't know, man.
It's a crowded space, man.
Yeah, it is. That is true.
You gotta innovate to stand out. You gotta tie chainsaws to your feet.
Yeah, right. But she was doing that 20 years ago.
Of course. But also she hates being on the internet.
Basically, I'm all for Grabo hanging content. So the Grabo has these little metal grommets on the side because people use them to lift pavers with this little, armature.
Right.
But yeah, so he put his shoes into the grommets,
Bum, bum.
but he fell.
So do we have any media worthy of discussing?
That's a good question. Barry's back. That's been good. And Succession's been doing its thing, but we're not really a Succession channel.
No, I every time I work out, I watch an episode of Succession. I've been in season 1 for a really long time.
So you don't work out very often.
I have been very bad at working out these last few months. I've been very busy with other things.
And also,
lazy.
There's been a lot of activity around Saturn.
Yeah.
With new moons.
New moons.
Now I would postulate that it'd be funnier if they were truly new, like they weren't there last week.
Like we're just making them?
Yeah, like no, someone's making them.
Someone?
That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Kubrick and
145 moons.
Arthur Clarke is out there inventing new moons.
Yeah, exactly. That's what the monoliths were doing.
Wasn't 2010 or 2001 was supposed to originally be Saturn because they thought it would look cool, but they couldn't figure out a way to convincingly make the rings, so they decided to do Jupiter instead?
Well, I think the other problem was Saturn doesn't have the density that Jupiter has.
For the pretend story?
Jupiter's the star that failed, right? It didn't have the density to kick off ignition, which is what the monoliths were doing. They were adding density and mass.
Saturn's no slouch, though.
Yeah.
Saturn's still a big.
You put those two together, and maybe something magic happens.
Yeah. Actually, if you did put them together, it might have the mass to ignite, but I don't know. It's still pretty small.
Then we could have a binary star system, and then we could be all like Luke, and like walk out onto the deserts and like listen to
feel the ennui of being unable to leave the
listen
farm.
to French horns serenade us.
That was the last time George Lucas had a lingering moment on film.
Right? Let's really dwell on this. All right, now we're going to have 3-second long cuts for the next 50 years.
It's really true.
That's because he had help editing that.
And there was another story in the New York Times that I kind of thought of Rob. This is like a
severed hand. Oh, gross!
A Rob story.
That is a
carefully gathered collection of hands. Right? Isn't that?
That is nice.
Isn't that a great story?
So okay,
reminds me of one of my favorite Onion articles. Hero donates 700 kidneys over the course of a month or something like that. Yeah. So severed hands, right? Yeah. It's more impressive than ears.
That's true. You cut off somebody's ear, they're probably okay. Like, they're not happy about it, but they still go on and lead a pretty normal life. You cut off a hand, even if they live, the rest of their life sucks.
There it is.
I've never seen this before. This is fantastic.
The big bag.
Gross.
Bag full of kidneys.
Yeah.
please tell me somewhere in there's like some joke about people waking up in ice cube, baths.
Yeah, I don't think so. They mostly go into the processing of the kidneys and such.
Rob, do you remember
Vice and Motherboard went out of business. Did you see that?
what?
Of Motherboard, which was the tech reporting arm of Vice.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Vice, they're out of business.
Well,
They're gone.
Is Vice shut down or just scaled back to nothing now?
I don't know, man. Let's see.
It's
Vice
crazy
Media.
how
It was
many
started
of
by the Tea Party guy, right?
uh,
Proud Boy.
maybe. It's crazy
yeah,
to me how
kinda.
many of those stories, like the websites that were perennial links for us back in the day, are gone now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Isn't
So one of the
Huffington Post?
co-founders, one of the co-founders was that sort of Proud Boys guy, but then they
Yeah.
gave him the boot and started. I can't remember what cable company they started partnering with, but
It was
they did
HBO.
like. Oh yeah, that's right. It was HBO. They tried to do like a version of 60 Minutes that was a little less stuffy.
Yeah, they were classier.
Yeah.
They were trying to split the difference between being pretentious news and being internet news.
Yep.
They had a lot of neat little stories on that channel.
They did, and it was funny because there was even a parody. The documentary now is basically a parody of the Vice, documentaries where they'd go into insanely dangerous places. And so, you're
Yep.
making some cocaine, huh? Cool.
Yeah, they did one documentary now like that. It was funny.
Yeah.
Documentary now is a surprisingly clever thing. Like
Oh yeah.
every one of those, when you find like what the source movie is that they're parodying, like that's a like kind of a love letter of parody in each of those cases.
Yeah, it is.
Somebody really knew what they were doing.
Oh, did you go see Guardians? Did you like it?
I did. We
Did we
talked
talk
about
about that?
we talked about
Oh,
it briefly, right? But the creatures in it are, Rob. You're gonna be so. I can't wait to see what you think about the creatures, because there's like the tortured half
Right.
robot creatures, half robot, half cute animals, and they do a really cool thing where they play with like it's emotional. They're like Rocket, like baby Rocket's family. And it's cool. The visuals that they use for that are cool. They literally just rip a dude's face off. Like there's some really gory stuff in this movie too. Like when I got to the end, I was kind of shocked it was PG-13. There's a few parts that I thought were over the line. I liked it a lot. Easily as good as Guardians 1, easily in the top half of Marvel. Probably the best Marvel thing, maybe the best Marvel thing since Endgame.
wow.
That's not saying that much.
Well, no, I mean it's saying something.
I like. I mean,
It's saying a thing.
For me, though, the Guardians were for me, the Guardians, and quite honestly, probably the Captain America ones were the upper echelon for
For sure.
me
Yeah.
as far as standalone stories. The Captain America ones, I don't think they get the justice they deserve. They're really solid, really entertaining.
Yeah.
They don't get crazy like the other ones.
For
Now,
sure.
like Ragnarok is fun, but the problem is they made so much money with Ragnarok is they're just trying to do it over and over again, and that won't work ever again. They did that thing. They had that movie. You can't just make the same movie over and over again like that.
Can't they though?
They're gonna
Can't
try.
they?
Well, they can. They sure can.
Not only can they try, but they can give Taika Waititi a Star Wars movie so he can do the same thing to another beloved franchise.
Right.
It's gonna be awesome. Is there any movies worth watching? Because I need some media. Did you guys watch Renfield? Did we talk about that yet?
Yeah,
I liked Renfield.
It's in my queue. I haven't watched it yet.
Solid.
Just been too busy.
Yeah. I liked it. We won't talk about it until Zen gets to watch it.
Yeah, and
they have a remake of White Man Can't Jump.
What?
Nobody asked for.
Oh no!
I'm like, really? I mean, the first one was okay.
A million late night talk show hosts.
Dungeons and Dragons. That was good.
Yeah,
I really liked
that's
it.
fun.
What else? Let's see.
We're definitely not going to connect to each other's Plex servers to see what's new.
No, no, we would never do that. That's not what I'm looking at all.
Nope, nope, nope.
I have
Oh.
a friend in my Plex network. He has the best selection. Actually, there's two of them. One that we all are connected with, and one that I'm connected
I think I might have got kicked off of his server.
with. Why?
Oh, I don't know, but I've been disconnected to it for a few weeks.
Oh,
But I
no.
suspect that one of my family members might have logged in because they might have known my password and might have started like watching too much. That would be my only guess.
How much does that person have bandwidth wise?
I don't think that much.
Huh.
I've been meaning to watch. There's one that came called Artifice.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
An AI. It's an AI. Yeah, our computer's sentient movie. But I would like to see that. Let's see.
It's not really, on target for Geeks in
The
Space.
Artifice
but,
Girl.
Somebody somewhere started a new season, and I really, really like
And
that.
you're
show.
liking that, yeah.
Somebody somewhere. Yeah, I gotta add that to my list.
It's like you've seen the movie Nebraska, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like if they made the movie Nebraska a little bit and mixed it with like almost like Zach Galifianakis comedy. It's shot like a real life thing, but it's not. It's one of those comedies that isn't always. Sometimes it's really, really sad
Yeah.
and sort of irreverent, but oftentimes it's pretty funny too.
Did you guys end up becoming extras in Holland, Michigan? Has that finished filming?
I mean, we were there in spirit.
Okay, that
Yeah.
sounds like the right thing to do.
I tried out for Menacing Dutchman, but didn't get it.
The Righteous Gemstones has a trailer out for their new season. I don't know how we feel about the Righteous Gemstones. I kind of like that show, but I can see it's not to everybody's taste.
I liked Eastbound and Down, but sometimes that
It's
guy.
just, that he's too much that guy for me in it.
Yeah.
Everyone else I like, but he's too much that dude.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing to swallow. All right, well, do we have anything else before we say goodbye to the universe?
Nope.
All right, gentlemen. Let us say goodbye to Rob Roseboom. And also
Goodbye
to Chris DeBona.
Bye.
That was episode 788 of Geeks in Space. I was Rob Commander Taco Malta, and we'll see you, I don't know, eventually. Bye.